Hello everyone, I'm Andy, and today we are playing Outside the Door, a visual novel, which is taking place only in an office, from what I've seen. And I think it has few short stories, but we'll see. I like the style. Hey, hello? Are you here? Just tell me I can hear you. I am here. Phew, nice, because I was getting worried. Look, we've got a problem, we need your help. Put it bluntly, in these latter days it happens more and more often. And someone up there is getting worried already. And we don't need it. Right? Well, what's going on? A lot of things, do not mind. That is what matters. Soon people will start coming here and you will need to deal with them. You see, they are so tangled. And you need to help untangle them. And how should I help them? Look, there's a computer to your left. We collected some information about them, but it is not complete. I can see people walking outside of this office. We need to ask them, fill in the gaps and send them further. Where to send? Where they need to. Just be easygoing about it. Where they will go will depend on what you write. Just fill in the gaps, we'll do the rest. Got it? Okay. Am I dead? Interesting question. Doesn't seem that weird, to be honest. To say, like, to ask, like, am I dead? Okay, where am I? I understand you've got a lot of questions. How about this? I answer only one question, so choose wisely. Ooh, okay. Well, I still want to know where am I? You're in your place. What do you mean by your place? That's the second question. We agreed on just one. Okay, that didn't give me much. Well, shall we start? Let's do it. Something easy to get started with, so... Oh, cool, found one. Piece of cake. Two girls were playing in the attic. One of them fell off the stairs and broke her head. You need to find out all the circumstances of the incident. Holy shit. Now I'm going to send you it. Okay, so we got some data. Attention, the enter data cannot be edited. The first visitor is a girl named... We don't know. The girl found herself involved in a situation in which, while hanging out with her friend, the following happened. Okay. The root cause of this event was. Okay. Note that part of the lines is erased. You need to fill them in. Just ask her and then fill in the information. Basically, that's it. As you can see, it's really easy. Got it? What if they don't answer me? They will, don't worry. Your charm plus the specific atmosphere of this place make visitors chatty. Are we like like a policeman, I guess? But if they lie to me, how to check information? It's hard to lie here, but you can check it anyway. Go on a hunch. What do you mean by go on a hunch? How can you fill in documents intuitively? Keep quiet. Here you can, just figure it out as you can and put things straight. Where is it here? We agreed that I will answer only one question. Let's keep the arrangement, okay? For fuck's sake. Don't take it hard, we'll be friends, secretly. Nobody monitors your job anyway. Other people without figuring out write some rubbish. I disapprove of it, but if they don't care up where, neither do I. Well, with that sorted out, let's start. Okay, hello. So we've got the first person. I'm guessing there's gonna be more. Are you frozen? Ask something before she bursts into tears. What should I ask? I'm not going to cry. Of course, why should you cry? You're a big girl, are you? Not really, I'm 8, don't you see? Okay. Anime style, but sort of like pixely. Interesting art style, I like the art style, it's a bit different. You look too sad for your age. Your conversation doesn't go anywhere. Your conversation doesn't go anywhere. Okay, I'm not sure if that was supposed to say twice, but... I don't want to talk to anyone. Screw up the first case, not everyone can do that. If I address the radio, she might think it's up to her, so... Girl, what is your name? You shouldn't get out names, that's not how it works here. Much you know about talking to children. Like, you are so great at it. 45 years old, neither family nor children, like always know better. Okay. Some info about us. Hush to yourself. Girl, could you tell me your name? May I? Of course you can. As for me, I am... It slipped my mind. Fuck, it just went out of my head. Fuck. No, you should not talk like that. And you, do you remember your name? Of course, my name is Hannah. Hannah, great, nice to meet you, and don't be afraid of the lady, she's just a voice. Okay, so we didn't know if that's female or male, actually. The radio sound, the voice. I'm not afraid. But why are you sad then? Oh, Tweety died. Tweety? Who's that? My birdie. I didn't expect that animation. Oh, I can see. I had birdies too. What did happen? She died. I got it. Why? I don't know. A cat caught her. I hardly managed to take her away from the cat. I wanted to heal it, fed her with an eyedropper, caressed her. Didn't leave her for 3 days. The stupid cat hurt her wing and Tweety could not fly. And today I found her dead in a box where I made a nest for her. Very sad to hear. It's not sad to hear, it's sad to bury. You like birds, do you, Hannah? I loved Tweety. I see, but there are many birds and you will be amazed at how diverse their magnificence is. Many birds. Tweety was the only one. Sadly, she's going to live forever in your heart. Take care of her. Oh, come on, keep your chin up. Chicken is a bird too and a tasty one. No, I think first one. Hey, Tweet, I'm awfully sorry to bother you, but what about doing things you are here for? And doing exactly them. Then let's get to it. For example, ask her what she remembers of anything that happened recently. She remembers how a cat killed her bird. Not relevant for the case, keep working. Fuck. Yeah, seems like that. I mean, keep it clean. Whoa, girl, listen to me. No lady speaks like that. Sorry. I thought she didn't hear. Okay, don't worry, let's get back on track. Okay. Hannah, what else do you remember of anything that happened recently? Well, yesterday, Mom and I went to the store shopping for a new dress. For your mom? No, why her? She already has some. She doesn't grow. But I do. Like Mom says, by leaps and bounds. So you've got a new dress. Yes, don't you see? Oh, it's dirty. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. No, Mom will be upset and Dad will scold me. Scold? Do you have a strict dad? Yes, Mom says that his job deforms him. What's he doing? He's a military, it seems. Why seems? Because military men are in the uniform. I've never seen Dad in the uniform. Does he scare you? No, he does a good job. He defends us. Dad says that he has to be strict to have order everywhere. And order is the basis of everything. I think your mom will easily wash it away before your dad notices. You think so? Of course, the dress is not so dirty. Where did yours smear like that? Children's playground, at children's playground. You went to play to a children's playground in a new dress? Yes, wanted to show it to Emily. Who is Emily? My best friend, and our parents are friends. Emily has no dad, and sometimes my dad helps them. Like Emily's mom says, where they need a man's touch. Dad has a strong touch. We often invite each other to visit. Okay, that's written in an interesting way. Last week, her parents bought her new shoes. So beautiful. I admire them every day. Did you want the same shoes? No. Yes, the same shoes, of course. I'd want them. But if Emily already has them, why do I need them? They won't be so cool anymore. Classic logic. But Mom bought me a dress. Look how cool it is. Oops. Did the stain really come out? Of course. Did Emily like your dress? Don't know. I think not. Why do you think so? First, it seemed that she loved it too, but then she turned away and kept playing in the sand. Did it hurt? Don't know. It seemed I had hurt her somehow, that's why she didn't want to say good things about my dress. But it is so cool, right? Okay, so that means... Because the situation was that the girl found herself involved in a situation in which, while hanging out with her friend, the following happened. And it was the... pushed over from something? That's what the radio said. Okay, a common dress or dress is marvelous. Let's be nice. Hannah, do you remember what happened next? What did you do with Emily? Of course I do. We were playing in the sand. I tried to be careful not to stain my dress, but Emily, as if intentionally, poured sand on me, even stepped on the edge of my dress with her dirty shoe. Did you fight because of that? A little, not really. How did you make peace? Emily has a secret, and she decided to tell me so that I didn't worry about the dress. What secret? I won't tell you. It's a secret. You can't tell me. Why? Because I won't tell anyone, and if I don't tell anyone, it means that the secret stays secret. I think you're lying. Secrets won't work like this. Even so, what is Emily's secret to you? It seems she's not a good friend anyway. She was a good friend. Maybe, but now you don't think so, do you? Look at your gorgeous dress. What has she done with it? I don't like you. Why? You're bad. I'm not bad, I'm just a grown-up. You're bad, I will never want to be like you. That's fine. And what kind you'd like to be? Good. When I grow up, I will have a family and a lot of children. And I'll help those in need. I'll be a doctor, yes. Helping people is a good goal. Not people, I'll treat animals. Fine, but it's not doctors who treat animals. They're called veterinaries. But I'm gonna be a doctor who treats animals and not a I can't read that word. Veterinary. I think that's how you pronounce it. Actually, I'm gonna save just in case. Why not? Then you'll be able to treat both animals and people. Yes, except cats. I won't treat cats. And won't treat Emily. Why? You're angry with cats because they haunt birds? Yes. And peeved with Emily because of the dress? No, a little. She sheltered a cat in the attic of the barn. She wanted to take her home, but her mom didn't allow her because the cat was pregnant. So Emily sheltered her in the attic of the barn and brought her food in secret, not every day but often. Is it her secret? Yes. She invited me to the attic to look at kittens. The attic was so dirty, all in dust and webs. God, I hate webs. But I wanted to have a look at the kittens so much. There was a mom cat, I recognized her. It was she who tore Tweety. She hissed at me so loudly, and I kicked her. What? I wanted to kick her to the death, but Emily stopped me, Jesus. We had a fight because of that, and I told her about Tweety. She broke into a laugh and said that I was stupid and I should have brought Tweety to her cat because Tweety was already dead anyway, but the cat still had kittens to feed. And it's not the kitten's fault that I'm so stupid in a stupid dress. Wow. Were you mad at her? I were, very much. I punched her in the face with all my strength and pushed her. I wanted to punch her more, but she stumbled and fell down the stairs. Okay, so there it is. You pushed her and she fell, or she stumbled and fell? She stumbled after I pushed her. What did she stumble against? Don't know, I didn't see it. Did you want to kick her down the stairs? No. I wanted to beat her. Her and her stupid cat. I forgot that there were stairs, and when Emily fell, I forgot about the cat. She was crying so loudly. And all of her face was in bright blood, and her forehead was as if going black. I should have thrown the cat down the stairs too, right to the black forehead of Emily. Jesus. A stupid cat on a stupid forehead, a stupid Emily. This is not a good thing to do and to say. She started it. This is not a good thing to do either. Is she okay? Don't know. I got frightened and ran away. But Dad went to visit her in the hospital and said that she's gonna be alright. Did your parents scold you? No, they didn't scold me at all. But Dad didn't talk to me at all. Hey, lean towards the speaker or whisper something to your ear. The system gives you access to make a record of what happened at the playground. Actually, you may write anything or describe what actually happened. The most important thing is to fill in all fields by the end of the meeting. Is it clear? Yeah. Good for you then. Okay, so... the first girl is named Hannah. The girl involved in a situation in which the girl frightened by a flying bird tripped and fell down. The girl threw her friend down the stairs. Wait, the girl frightened by a flying bird tripped and fell down the stairs. That's not exactly what happened. And we can put anything, like random things. Let's do this one correctly. Or as close to correctly as possible. The girl threw her friend down the stairs. That's... It's not exactly what happened to Eva, to be honest, but the root cause of this event was taunting the loss of a pet. Leave your impression about the visitor, Jesus. What are you doing there? Do you really care? No, not really, I just don't like it here. I remember, and you don't like me either. Yes, I don't like that lady either. Why me? You only tell her what to do and do not do anything yourself. Yes, I don't really like her too. I do my job, you do your job. Do you have a job for me? A bit later, when you grow up and become a doctor, you will treat everyone. Or maim. And what should I do now? The lady will do all the things now. And you will go about your business. I have nothing to do. What do you mean? We need to clean your dress to make it look like a new one. Cool, will you help me? I really don't like it here. Of course. She wasn't like bad person, I don't think. Go, Hannah, be a good girl. I'll figure out on my own who to be. She's weird, a bit weird, like good girl. Well, not quite good, but she's a kid, nothing to be claimed. Yeah, it's like she's a kid, so it's kind of hard to judge her. What? No, whatever. I'm talking about you. You're a good girl. You quickly figure out how it all works here. Chop, chop, chop. And the trick's done. Experience matters. I wish everyone would work like this. Thanks, perhaps. Okay, so we are a female. That's also interesting. But you shouldn't teach children to swear. That's not good. By the way, so everyone here is female. I've realized. I mean, I've seen a guy walking behind the thing. I think it was a guy. So we'll see if we get a male character here. Okie dokie, I won't. Just tell me, do you have coffee here? Yes, of course. Take a sip and let's move on. Move on? Of course, you have a few cases, few more cases, I guess it should say. But don't be afraid, there's not much. Using your skills, you'll make quick work and be free. Okay, so that was the first one. So yeah, seems like there's few cases. Well, let's move on. Okay, let's save. Couldn't help but notice that you do a good job, so he's a harder task. Ooh, you said that nobody monitors my work. Do I monitor it? As I say, couldn't help but notice. If you notice something because of the fact you just couldn't notice it, is it spying? Okay, dude, okay. Think, for instance, of big boobs. Wow, what an example. Because of respect for a person you talk to, you at least try not to gape on them, but you just can't notice that the person has big, I'd say outstanding boobs. Well, I guess that's correct, if the talking persons are not two women. Oh, come on, women stare at outstanding boobs as much as men. Well, okay, enough about pretty things. Oops, we are actually doing business here. The next case is worrisome, like everything else about adolescence. Maximalism. Okay. Case of the disappearance of a high school student. The tragedy was preceded by a series of events, the main of which was, and then during the conversation with the interrogated, it turned out that the friend... Okay. It's a case of a missing high school student. Our next guest has probably something to do with the disappearance of a friend. Make it clear. And don't distract me unless absolutely necessary. I have urgent business. So can I like press on the thing? I don't think I can press on the radio for something. Hello, where am I? Hi, I have some ideas. Clearly not in a shopping mall. You're right, we are clearly not in a shopping mall. So another female. Are you a social worker or someone like that? Why social worker? Well, you look so-so, and the office, frankly speaking, sucks. It's always so with social workers. Wow. Did you often deal with social services? Oh yeah, I got an eye full of people like you. It's a shame to disappoint you, but no, I'm not a social worker. Well, I see. Then a psychologist, or from the police. They already questioned me for far and wide, like everyone at school, I believe. I'm afraid I have nothing more to say. Neither one thing nor another, probably you can make something clear. You still cannot question me without my parents. Parents? Actually, it's in your best interest to talk without them. Well... Okay, how can I contact your parents? Mom is busy now, she's at work. Fine, what about your father? Can I contact him? If you find out how to contact him, make sure to tell me how to do it. You do not communicate? No, he left us. I'm sorry to hear that. Of course. Even so, we have to talk. It's not an interrogation. It's a conversation. A confidential conversation. I need to make clear some moments. The English writing is a bit weird sometimes in this game, I realize. Maybe it's due to translation, I don't know. It's in your best interest too. Does it involve your friend? Ex-friend. This is it. I have no friends anymore. I just can't repeat to you what I already told about 10 times. Tell me what happened. This is important. Of course, important. Because it's your job. You get money for it. It is my job. I need to look into the matter. Let's save each other's time. Oh, the question's about your friend. Don't you want to know what happened to her? This one is more like personal, I would say. Ex-friend. Even so. Everybody knows what happened to her, so what? Well, nothing. She just got out of that shithole, that's it. I need to know what came before it and what you do with that. Me? What has that to do with me? So let's sort this out. Will you help me? Well, okay, what do you want to know? How long did you know each other? Not very long. We met last summer. Soon after we moved here. In the summer, it's not really a wide choice of people to hang with. Actually, boondocks. No hard feelings. I know your feelings. All leave for summer vacation, and the only entertainment is either watching TV with 10 channels, half of which is about gardening and other half about fishing or looking up or in the book. Okay. Look up? Yes, up. Where up? At the ceiling or at the sky? Why? Because there's nothing interesting around you at all. But people rarely look up, that's why it's not so boring. Interesting. Yeah, it is interesting perspective. No, not interesting. How can it be interesting? That's the problem. I almost lost my mind. I see. You see? Hardly. Have doubt? Look around, that's my office. Looks like a place to have fun. You know, it's nothing to do here too. Well, yeah, the office sucks. Thanks, you've already said it. Well, no offense. On the bright side, you've got a PC. Yes, it even has one funny picture. Or a spooky one. Can't figure it out. At least it features a smile. Bullshit. Chloe sucked the soul out of me with her fucking smiles. Chloe, okay. Chloe, is she your friend? Yes, we are talking about her, aren't we? Like having fun? No way. But she always delivered moral lectures on how people need to smile all the time. Even if a person is a scum and did something wrong. Smile at him, she said. By smiling at people, you smile at yourself. And no matter how you lived your life, you may miss just one smile in the end to save your soul. It's kinda true, actually. If you smile to people, it kind of makes your life, like, brighter. It works weirdly, but it works. That's why. No matter who stands next to you, smile at them, she said. She said many things, by the way. Yeah, sounds nice, yeah. Sounds like bullshit. You must be sick in the head if you always smile at everyone. Smile softens people. Haven't you noticed if a person smiles at you, even a stranger, you automatically smile at him or her in turn? If a stranger smiles at me, I will cross the street the other way. That's probably why you don't have many friends. If you smile oftener, that's not a word. That does not exist, by the way. If you smile more often, it will draw people to you. Really? But why do I need people who are drawn to me only when I smile? What will they do when I'm sad? They won't need me? It's better not to have such people around you at all. And when it's hard times, it won't be even worse because they all left me. As I understand, Chloe felt the opposite way, but how come you became close? Let me think about it. Well, frankly, there was little choice. Besides, it turned out that we have common interests. I liked reading sometimes, and she turned out to be a bookworm. We didn't agree on many things and liked different books, but some topics attracted both of us. For example, vampires. Vampires, those who suck blood, or trendy ones who suck each other. What? What? There are rock solid classics, for example, Bram Stoker who wrote Dracula, or... Yep, I know, that is Chloe to ask, she likes reading some 100-year-old stuff. Well, I did not expect that. Well, more than 100 years. All the more so, who needs these literature antiques? I tried to read it, but didn't get through. Times change, progress is on, and what was written about in books 100 years ago is no longer relevant. I prefer Stephanie Meyer's book. Got it. I don't know who that is. I'm not big fiction reader myself. Well, if that's fiction, yeah. Chloe believed that this is rubbish too, and that you shouldn't read the books that everybody reads. Why? Because you start thinking like everybody else. Is that bad? We live in a society surrounded by people. We live in a society, woo, there it is. And it would be much easier to live if all people would think in the same way as you. Maybe, but that would be awfully boring. It's strange to hear this from a girl who entertains by looking at the ceiling. That's out of the spur. Or you look at the ceilings for a reason? What do you mean? Tell me, do you take illicit substances? No. Be honest, it won't get any further. I told you no, I tried once. Well, we all did, but I didn't like it. Why? Well, a silly story, I don't want to tell it. It may be important. Where did you get weed? Chloe brought it. It's interesting how he said weed straight away when he just said illicit substances. It could be anything. It didn't have to be weed. Chloe brought it. We were hanging out at our spot and she offered me to try. What spot? Our spot. Be specific. I'd rather not say, you know. If I tell you now, then the cops will be there regularly. Are you planning on going there by yourself? Probably no. Oh, fine. We were at an old abandoned landfill where there is a station. Got it? We often hung out there on the rooftop. Wait, case of this. We want to know more, like... It's a case of disappearance. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we need to ask about Chloe. Was Chloe an addict? No, or rather sometimes. I mean, she liked to have a puff sometimes and reflect on her retired vampires. Did Chloe tell you where she got weed? No, she didn't have to. It's pretty clear. Everyone who does this takes it from Simon. People say he has everything to everybody's taste. Tell me about Simon. Is he your schoolmate? Not anymore. They say he had moved here from the north before me, but he did not last for long in school here and they expelled him. Hell of a dumbass, but handsome. I can't argue that. Tall, slender, pale, so exquisite and mysterious, mounted on a bike. He has a garage close to the landfill. Like a small workshop where he does small repairs for bikes. Sometimes bikers from the neighborhood come to his place. Did you have a crush on him? Not really. It's he who had a crush on me. He tried to pick me, but he's really weird. Hangs out mostly at night, not so chatty, looks strangely all the time. Even if it was hot, I wanted to bundle up from his gaze. If he was hot, I guess. And always wore his granddad's coat, even in summer. Some people are easy to feel cold, all the more so if they ride a bike. Maybe. But when a person has a lot of small strange things, he becomes strange too. For example, once he invited me to ride a bike outside the town, but it was late and I went home. That night, Mom was at home, and she didn't allow me to go out after dark. I woke up at night and saw him in the window. He was standing across the street under a tree and looking at my house. Just like a vampire, it even thrilled me a little. What did Chloe have to do with him? Oh, Chloe, she drooled over him. Did you both like Simon? No, Chloe liked Simon, but Simon liked me. And you? And I liked Chloe. I wouldn't change my fate for a jerk, so we decided not to mess with him to save our friendship. High-hearted, but as I understand, you didn't fall out of touch with him. First we did, at least I tried to avoid him, and when I was with Chloe, he didn't come to us. Why? Dunno, he always stood aback when there were people around. Maybe he didn't want people to see him with Chloe. Doesn't it seem suspicious to you? I think he just worried about his reputation. Chloe is a modest girl and Simon, with all his oddities, is quite a popular guy. Popular? I've gotten the impression otherwise from your stories. At first I thought so too, but closer to the beginning of the school year, local guys started to get back. They regularly hung out at his place. They often gathered together at the dinner not far from school and had offhand parties at his garage. Have you been there? Of course, although it was not so easy to get there. They had a kind of close club and you can't just come there. Rather, you may come, but they let only their own kind to the parties, you know? I see, their own kind. Who are they? All the guys from the sports team, their girlfriends, many cheerleaders, local bikers. Strange company, isn't it? A bit of a motley? I don't know what motley means. They're all locals and know each other. Except Simon. But Simon's dad was a local, perhaps. Perhaps they accepted him because of that. Was? Where did his father go? Don't know, never took too much interest in it, either died or just left. Some unclear story nobody explained me, and I didn't get into it. Not my business, although Chloe once said that she saw Mr. Greenwood. But I don't know how long ago she saw him, did not attach any importance to it. What? Nothing, never mind, I'm getting a headache. It's better you take something. What? Well, for headaches. Do you have some? No, I don't have a headache, and if even if I had it, I wouldn't give it to you. Why? In case if my head aches, but I won't have any. Tough. Farsighted. Okay, you got distracted. Do you think that something may happen to Chloe at Simon's party? No, not a chance. Why? She didn't go there, as I said. Those events were only for your kind. But you were there. Yes, but I got there for a good reason. Firstly, you have to pass the rite of initiation. Rite of initiation? Seriously? Of course. What was it like? Well, this information is not for the ears of outsiders, one of the conditions of initiation. Even now, did something change? Your friend is missing. Ex-friend. What the hell did she do that even after her disappearance you have a grudge against her? Well, I can't tell it either. Why? It's about the rite of initiation. Don't think that now it's still important. Well, okay. Moreover, after police reportedly searched everyone and their brother in the area, all these parties came to an end. As soon as some fun starts, cops pull over and watch. Jerks. This is their job. Their job is catching criminals and maintain order. Get back to the rite of initiation, tell me the details. At random time you are given a note with a task. You need to fulfill it and burn the note. The note from whom? Don't know, it seems from Simon, but I heard that sometimes the whole company makes up tasks. Did everyone in the company make the rite? Yes, likely. Not everyone admitted it. Why? Perhaps because some people had to do not really legal things, for example. Dunno. As I said, not everyone told about that, and those who did, they didn't do anything serious, like stealing a t-shirt or slashing their neighbor's tire. What task did you have? Probably the stupidest one. Check for bravery. There's a cornfield surrounded by woods not far away from the landfill. I had to wear a school uniform and get through it. In the night. Why school uniform? That was a long, light problem. Because of an old urban legend. People say about 15 years ago on this field, locals lynched a rapist from a neighboring town who attacked schoolgirl. Jesus Christ. And if you appear in this field in the night in a school uniform, the rapist's evil spirit will chase you. Who did supervise the rite? Well, nobody. There was a straw man with Monica's bra on it. There was a straw man with a Monica's bra on it in the middle of the field. The task is counted if you bring it to Simon's garage the next day. Monica is, it seems, a Simon's ex. It didn't get to it. I didn't get to it. A fine girl, although a bit crazy. Well, I did, but with some nuances. Well, I did, but with some nuances. Which ones? Firstly, I actually intended to do as written in the task. But going to the field on alone in the night, plus through the woods, it seemed it wasn't reasonable. Were you scared? Of course, wouldn't you be scared? Again, that dress code. Who nowadays wears a school uniforms? Except maybe Chloe. Well, she's one of the old school, don't mind her. So I'm guessing this is not a school uniform, that's what she's wearing. And what did you do? Asked Chloe to help me, lend me the uniform and accompany me. But she denied it. Why? She assumed that I was breaking the agreement, that I was doing it to be closer to Simon. Was it true? Surely not. I tried to explain to her, but she wouldn't listen. After all that, Monica told me that Chloe wanted to join our company too, and passed the right initiation before me, but Monica asked Simon not to accept her. Ah. Why? Monica didn't like Chloe. I think she was jealous of Simon to her. Monica told me that he always strangely stared at Chloe, but when he was asked about her, he pretended to be indifferent. Do you think Simon liked Chloe? I don't think so. Why do you think Chloe did that? Well, obviously, to be close to Simon, she dumped me, her friend, for a boy she liked despite all her promises. But you broke your promise too. I didn't break any promises. I just want to get a company. Did Chloe need Simon? Yes. That's why I hold a grudge against her. Grudge? No. That's too powerful feeling. I just deleted her from my life and went to the field alone. However, not in the night. It was too scary in the night. I sat all night at home without sleep so as not to oversleep and left at dawn. Not a pleasant walk either, but at least there was light. So I found that goddamn strawman with little exciting adventures, took off Monica's bra and went home. The same evening, I brought the bra to the party and they accepted me like their own. Okay. The ride ended with a little party, but Simon behaved strangely, like he wasn't happy to see me. I thought he knew about my trick, but he said nothing. If you went to the party only in the evening, what prevented you from going to the field in the afternoon? It's a private area and someone could see me, someone from ours or a local farmer who owned the field. Then they would not accept me, plus it would be embarrassing to have the reputation of a coward. Let's suppose it. Was it the last time you saw Chloe? No. A few days ago she came to me and said that someone slipped her a note with a task and asked me to meet her late in the evening at our place. She was going to pass the rite of initiation? In her words, she was, but I already knew they would not accept her into the party, and no one would give her any tasks. I asked her to show me the note, but she said she had burned it as instructed. So then I asked her what her task was. And she just retold me my own task that I had done. It doesn't work that way, tasks are different for everyone. You didn't help her? With what? With pulling the wool over my eyes? No. That evening Simon invited me to a party at his friend's house, and I wasn't about to miss it because of the deceitful fancies of a person who betrayed me. Since she came to you, she probably still considered you her friend. I think she just realized that since she couldn't get Simon, she should at least try to keep her friend. And I somehow don't feel like being a booby price, especially after the way she behaved. Was that the last time you two met? I think so. You're not worried about her disappearance at all? No, she disappointed me so much. What do you think happened to her? Nothing happened to her. She just went somewhere else. If I were her, I wouldn't stay here to shame myself either. Don't you think that Simon is involved in her disappearance? No, obviously not. We were together at the party that night. And Monica, was she with you? No. Do you think Monica did something with Chloe? You say they didn't get along. Then the police would have found something, wouldn't they? Either Chloe or her body. No, I'm pretty sure Chloe just ran away from home. Okay, I've got the last question. The evening when Chloe came for you, for your help, how was she dressed? In the uniform. But that's not surprising. She knew about the condition. I asked her to give me her uniform for this task. Did you ever think that if you'd gone to see Chloe that night, she wouldn't be missing? What's that got to do with me? No, I didn't. We ourselves make decisions we are responsible for, and only we have to answer for them. Well, I think she might have gotten kidnapped. If something seems to you, deal with all this shit on your own. So more questions for me? No, I've got no more questions to ask you. Now I'll enter the data into the computer and you can go. Okay. Of Chloe. The tragedy was preceded by a series of events, the main of which was... Ooh. A quarrel between a missing girl and her best friend, or unrequited love. Let me think, wait. The main event. A quarrel between the missing girl and her best friend, or the love? I think it was the love, to be honest. Huh. Although, so we can either blame it like... No, actually, we cannot blame it on unrequited love. Yeah, I think it's actually the first one. Because she disappeared after Emily didn't help Chloe or whatever. So let's do this one. During the conversation with the interrogated, it turned out that the friend... well, for sure we know that she ran away. We don't know if she got kidnapped, so... Impression. Let's do this one. Let the visitor know about your choice. Huh. Yeah, so we are finished. You may go now. What do you think? About what? About this case? I enter into the case all that I think. Huh. Well, okay, now we go on. Okay, so is it... they are not linked to each other in any way, those cases. It seems. Well, interesting. I'd like to know what is so interesting. Wait, let's save. You can't imagine, I've got so many things to do. I wish I didn't mix up everything and give you the wrong cases. What will be when I get it covered? Oops. How many cases should I review? This is... Okay. Questions, so many questions. Forget your questions for a minute. I'm getting distracted from every quarter. Can't focus. Okay, the next case, check it out carefully. How far are we into the video? Okay, we can do one more. Oh. Okay, what's the case? Just a case, can't you see? I can't. Have you sent it? Yep. I've got nothing. Oh, it seemed it didn't. Wait. What do you mean? You said that it's done. Now I've sent it for sure. Catch it. This case may seem especially interesting. Okay, soon after the young soldier arrived at the place of service for the position of warehouse manager, high consumption was noted. A few months later, a surprise rebel attack was made on a remote loyalist army stronghold. All the surprise was due to the fact that, according to intelligence data, and then defenders of the strong point, the only survivor was found in a state of deep shock. His role in the incident remains unclear. Is that like a war? Yeah, because soldier, right? Yeah. Interesting, like the previous ones. Better, our guest is a military man. Do you like powerful men in uniform? Okay, you like power, but what about men? Or maybe women? Trying to pick me up, are you? Office affair. How romantic it would be in the current realities. What realities? Current. Wait, a military man? Could it be the dad of the first girl? I thought you said a man. Excessive criticality in opinions prevents an objective perception of reality. It must be a mistake. Focus on the case. Mistake or not, man or woman, it is no concern of yours. And I have a lot of my own work to do. I guess it's reasonable to assume that if I were dealing with your work, I would be in your place. So, each to his own thing, okay? Starring Claudio Maurizio. Oh, are you watching Netflix? Oh, leave it alone, just a background to fill the silence. Looks like nobody cares what I'm doing here. What? Of course not. How could you say that? Yes, nobody cares about your job except you. That's why not everyone but you are doing it. Is that a bad time? Don't mind. Come in, sit down. Wait, is this a female as well? It is. Okay. I am processing your case and we need to deal with the details of what happened. Who we? You and I. It doesn't look like a military tribunal. Let's suppose it's a pre-trial proceeding. I don't know much about legal details yet. Will I have an attorney, a lawyer? I will represent your interests. No, it's only me who handles your case. Questionable pleasure. And still, as I got it, I have no choice. Alas, no. Got it. I'm ready to cooperate if that counts for something. It does. This is exactly why we're here. Okay, I got it. Tell me about your service. What exactly do you want to know? Don't make it worse, soldier. I'm not a soldier any longer, and actually have never been. I started military service just to get some allowances. Is that so? Don't be ridiculous. At that time the war hadn't begun yet, and the army was a good social elevator. At first everything went fine. I passed basic military training without much suffering. I thought building relations with comrade in arms would be the hardest, but it turned out the hardest part is getting your ass cleaned before lights out, because the everyday shower was not expected, and I completely forgot what is hot shower. And then suddenly the war began. Needless to say, it was not my plan. I wasn't ready for that, either morally or physically. You were already in the military at this point. Yes, but I was not going to war. Army was just a step in my career. If I'd known there was going to be a war, my feet wouldn't have been in military boots. I'm a pacifist, you know. So being a soldier, you were surprised that you had to go to war. And do you think that all those who serve in the army are defenders of their motherland? Do you know how many deserted in the first days of the war? People were just leaving their units, like summer camp, until the military police woke up and started arrests. And I told you before, I wasn't a soldier. I wasn't good with machine gun, but I was good with my head. In the training camp, I got a job in the headquarters. I was more useful there. And when I was assigned, I was able to get a job in the middle of nowhere and answered for combat service support. Were you responsible for combat service support? Well, kind of. Officers were sorely lacking and they put me at the warehouse. It was an easy task, you know, distributing incoming stock in a way so that soldiers do not complain and there will be no problems. If you miss something, send a request. Wait, everything will come. If there's a lot of something, you carefully store it. Store it so no sore. And sometimes they send a lot, especially ammunition after all. There was a war going on. Carefully store. What did you do with the surplus? There was no surplus. Wrote off ammunition consumption in a war is commonplace. Didn't the war disrupt logistics? At the beginning, we didn't have much of a war, just some morning and evening gunfire, so it was tolerable. Explain to me one detail. If there was no major fighting on your section of the front, where did the ammunition go? Not on paper, but in fact. Hello? Hey. Soldier, I'm talking to you. It seems you got problems. Don't take it too hard. It seems I've got no problems. And what problem do you have? Soldier, she doesn't react. Well, what do you expect? She's not quite right in the head. PTSD or kind of. Yeah, I thought so. Take a reaction. God knows what war makes to people. Be more careful. At least you have warned me. What should I do now? Deal with it. This is your area of responsibility. Could you look up from your TV shows and help me? Wow. Found balls? Check maybe it's just a tumor. Shouting like this. Drama queen. Oops, wait, let's... Okay. Sorry, I don't know what to do. Politeness is not your strong suit, is it? Maybe she will cover. I mean, we cannot do much. Alright, you win. I give up. What am I gonna do? Give a whistle. Be serious. I am. Give a whistle. Oh. Interesting. Huh. Are you with us? With whom? You drew into the shell and didn't respond to anything. Yes, it happens to me. After the attack on the strong point. Oh my god. Why would you say that? Not again. I'm fine, yes, after the assault on our positions. Do you remember what happened? I do. When I was assigned to the warehouse, although it's a big word for that hole, a local soon contacted me. He assured me that he was not a rebel, but his people needed help to defend against rebels. He needed ammunition. Yes, he gave me a list, nothing special. A bit of ammo, grenades, hand grenade launchers. A bit, to the extent of our provision, of course. And you gave them to him. Oh my days. No, of course I didn't. Maybe I am a bad soldier, but not a fool. That man was clearly a rebel and giving ammunition to the enemy's treason, court-martial. That's how I thought. What happened next? I told him to bugger off and said if I ever saw him near our positions again, Dustin would split his ass in two. Who is Dustin? One of our gunmen often came around at my dugout. A cheerful guy, tried to pick me up, but he was smart enough only to stroke the machine gun when he tried to talk to me. Once that fool. Please stick to the point. That evening, enemy artillery fired on our section of the front. My dugout was in Pinewood. I was lucky. When the firing started, I was near and went into the woods. The first shell exploded in the sky and it was the most awful sound in the world. Not the sound of a shell bursting, but the ringing of the simultaneous fly of thousands of splinters. It seems the third shell stuck somewhere nearby. I was covered in mud and couldn't hear. There, lying at the bottom of the trench, I thought I was dying, and overhead, in the ringing silence, high explosive shells kept bursting, you know? You know, it is so fucked up. A shell stuffed with explosive and a hell of a lot of fragments. As a rule, it explodes before reaching the land, turning the area into blender. If it explodes over your head, the trench won't help, just look. From a piece of sharpener flying at a monstrous speed, even tree trunks fly like a piece of ice. The firing was still going on. I couldn't hear it, but I felt the bursts with my whole body, like the bass at a good concert. And at that moment, someone took me and threw me into the dugout, like a sack of potatoes. It was obviously one of my comrades, Ben or Harry, I can't tell who now, but he saved my life. It must have been tough on you. Yes, no fucking good. A feeling that the firing had stopped, I decided to get out of my hole and went to my duty station, the warehouse. Have I said that my dugout was in Pinewoods? Not anymore. Like a huge harvester or mowing machine had a ride across the woods. Remains of torn trees stuck from the earth like gnawed pencils, and there were chips everywhere. On my way, I saw many wounded, maybe even dead people, and I discovered an unexpected benefit from my deafness. I didn't hear their cries. It seems to go distracted. No, we didn't. A couple of days ago, that man contacted me again, a fucking local. He still gives me nightmares. Ask for ammunition again? Yes, he said that I was responsible for what happened. These were the consequences of my refusal, and that it was just a polite hint that smart people need to negotiate with each other. If they could start an artillery attack, why the hell did they need ammos and other smalls? They had no problems with shells. Emergency depots were hidden across the country from the times of world wars. A shell is a shell at any time as far as it can explode. But small arms, they develop faster. It appears from intelligence reports that rebels were sorely lacking ammos for... Is this ammos a correct word? It doesn't matter. Lacking ammos for modern small arms. Modern rifles, for the most part, need modern ammo. You cannot go against rifles and machine guns with just outdated sliding bolt rifles. Why go into battle having artillery? It's the gods' war. It's the gods of war. It is the soldier who takes sides, not gods. Where the soldier stands, there is the conquered land. And have you been blackmailed with another firing? Not exactly, they offered a deal. There won't be any more firing in our sector if I sell the necessary ammunition little by little to the side. They will focus strikes on the other, important for them, sector, and having defended something there, they will end the war. And you agreed. What was I supposed to do? I can't just leave the service, I've got a contract. You know what you were getting into. No one warned me that I would walk on my friend's gods. For the sake of what? For the sake of justice? What justice? No one even bothered to explain to us what was going on. In the name of defense of the homeland. From who? The rebels? Who are they, you know? They're our citizens too, defending native land from ourselves. Bullshit. Or for money? I'd make more money as a waitress than in this mess. It's easy for you desk-bound commandos to judge. You don't know how a landmine explodes, how cold you get when a branch suddenly crunches under the leaves. And you wonder if it's a branch, or if in a moment a mine will tear your leg out of your ass. Calm down. Don't tell me to calm down, bitch. Yes, I was scared. I was ready to do anything to avoid lying at the bottom of the trench again, wondering after the explosion of which shell a piece of red-hot iron would fly into my body and tear it from my asshole to the back of my head. Lovely. And I was afraid not only for myself, but also for my guys. Why didn't you report this to the commanders? And what would that have done? Do you know what choice I had? Either to the penalties for cowardice, or execution by shooting for treason, or a grenade in my sleeping bag from the locals or the supporters in our ranks. In defending yourself, you have set up others. No, I didn't set up anyone, or set anyone up. Have you thought about the men on the other side of the battlefield, where the ammunition you sold will be used? As I said, I'm a bad soldier, but not stupid. What's your point? I agreed to the offer, but with nuance. First, I only agreed to supply small arms ammunition, alleging strict accounting for everything else. Keep going. Secondly, I did some manipulation of the ammos, making them useless. Of course, the first batch was fine, so they wouldn't suspect anything. How did you manage to pull that off? I'm telling you, I'm not a stupid soldier. Every night I wrote off the ammunition, then I dragged another box to the ditch, where I unpacked them and soldiers with cooked. Cooked like soup? Yes. You boil the ammo in water for a few hours and then leave them to cool down in the same bucket until morning. During the heating of the ammo, there is either oxidation of the powder, constituents, or some other chemical magic. I don't know, I learned not very well, and the ammo becomes useless. As a minimum, ballistics will distort because of the low velocity of the bullet out of the barrel. As a maximum, simply will not shoot, or even stuck in the barrel. I had time to boil a whole box overnight. The locals came for them once a week, on Thursdays. Smart, how long did that last? A couple of weeks, and those couple of weeks, not a single shell came to our positions. I sold them a couple of boxes with fake. What happened next? Did they find out? No, I don't think so. I'm sure that my ammo was sent to another front sector as agreed. Then there was some fuss. They started to check warehouses, some audits. My documents were clean, but I had to stop the game of selling ammunition. A few days later, the firing repeated, but this time it was worse. They went on an assault and captured our positions, and they had modern automatic weapons. How it may be possible? Apparently, I wasn't the only one supplying them with ammos. But it seems that others were selling live ammunition, not deactivated. Those of our guys who survived the artillery preparation died repelling the assault. Those who survived the assault were executed. Not one was taken prisoner. But you managed to escape. Yes. What did you have to do for that? Nothing. Tell me the truth. Nothing. Everything would be fine if some asshole didn't supply them with valid ammos. I've got it all figured out. The plan was perfect. It's all because of some asshole, some shithead, that son of a bitch is guilty. He's got all the blood on his hands that I spilled to get out of that fuckhole. And you, motherfucker, are sitting here behind our backs. Douchebag. No. Again. You think you should? Damn. This slipped my mind completely. Don't flatter, I wasn't there anyway. How are your TV shows? It's more interesting here. Whistle. You think you should use it? The girl got carried away. If you start pressing the points, you'll wreak havoc. Look at the file. It seems to have all the information to fill in the gaps. What else do you need? It's... Oh, we have a choice. Okay. War cripples not only the body but also the mind. Okay, I'm done with her. Soon after the young soldier arrived at the place of service for the position, high consumption was noted. Ammunition. A few months later, a surprise rebel attack was made on a remote loyalist army stronghold. All the surprise was due to the fact that, according to intelligence data, the stronghold was located on loyal territory. Okay, I can change. Wait, I can't change back now. Oops. And I have not read this one. No, they were killed, right? Defenders of the strong... Oh, I cannot go back. Oi, oi, oi. What impression should we have of this? I'm gonna be positive, but I don't think that's my choice, really. I'm not sure. After all, she was trying to survive and the plan was not that bad. Yeah, kind of. Something like that. Yeah, nevertheless, it's worth giving her respect. How she came up with that. What? Cooking ammunition, holy Christ. What? What's wrong? You know it's an old myth, don't you? You can't deactivate modern ammunition like this. Different gunpowder manufacturing techniques. The cartridge is hermetically sealed even if you cook it for 24 hours. Maybe 1 of 1,000 will misfire if it was deactivated from the beginning, I'm not going to say. And how many are there in a dispenser magazine? 30? And then a machine gun belt? That is, you won't say that, so it goes. Pum pum pum. Oops. Oh well. I didn't think about that actually. I didn't question that really. Meow. A cat. Actually, I think the game is about 1 hour to 2 hours long, so we might try to get through it all. Meow, please don't be such a strange person. We still have work together. We've got a cat. Yes. You think he understands you? I don't think there may be animals. It is you, animal. And this is my cat. Like you, a creature of a hard fate, but it didn't make him spend his life in immoral recklessness. Rude. When have you ever cared about other people's opinions? Don't talk to me like you know me. Of course, I know you. That's a given. Do you have a file on me too? Better, we've got you on you. Actually, we can save. I like cats. You like yourself. What a mortal sin. Sin? No, of course not. Then what exactly you don't like? You love only yourself, you know, and you try to pass off that you can love somebody else. So what, does that hurt you? Of course it doesn't. Frankly, I don't care about it. Then what's the complaint? You lying. This is not the place to try to deceive and make something of yourself. My throat is kind of giving up. Coffee break? Yes, I guess so. And there's no vodka? Look in the desk drawer. Oh, wow. So yeah, there's bullets and stuff. Yeah, so this is like a police military kind of thing. Oh, whiskey. Well, they say they make wonderful coffee in Ireland. Oh yeah, the Irish drink, right? It's like coffee with alcohol. Just don't abuse it. We can drink on the job. So yeah, clearly different place. Well, work's not waiting. If it doesn't wait, go and work. I should probably go. I'm bored, you know. I'll go. 100 grams and the day is free. It's not your time yet, and there's no hurry, just sit tight. You mean I'm locked up here? Absolutely not, you can consider yourself on the contract. Once you're done, you'll move on. Where to? Wherever you decide. I don't remember about signing any contracts. It was signed between the lines. I don't think such a contract is valid. If you don't think so, there's nothing to begin with. I'm not liking you anymore. I feel the other way, a bit of more sincerity and I will start liking you. Get the case. Okay. Faculty of Law. Family passed the entrance exam flawlessly and passed the preliminary selection. And second cat. Same shit, different bag. That's the way we live here. Does she apply to university? What's so surprising? This task is quite a myth if you don't have a long-fingered family and a mint of money. This university prepares the future management of the country. Candidates for key management positions, creme de la creme. So we deal with an entrant who puts a silver spoon out of her ass before taking a shit. You, what? You deal with this entrant, not we. Well, I see. But why does she need a silver spoon in the ass? What? Well, I don't know. Just to have it. How did it get there? Perhaps her parents put it in. Parents? Oh, got it. But as far as I'm concerned, universities admit common citizens too. And in these cases, the state pays for studies. This statement appears to be a myth. Competition for free college programs goes to thousands of people every year. After all selection rounds, the admissions committee makes the decision based on criteria known only to them. Interesting. They say that literally everything is taken into account. There are a lot of rumors about it. Well, even if we don't take into account literally everything, and we are something more serious than university. Anyway, you have a chance to make it clear if you want to, of course. What are we talking about? Your prospective student with a silver spoon in her ass is already here. Good afternoon. Let it be good. Why do you keep silent? I don't really understand who you are and how I should talk to you. You may speak as you like if there's nothing wrong with it. It's an informal conversation. Got it. Okay, more choices here. We need to clarify certain things that happened lately. What do you want to know? I have information that you want to go to university, do you? Right, I think they already admitted me. Really? So you are from a well-to-do family? No, not even close. Father left us when I was a teenager, and mom had double employment to keep us somehow. Sometimes money was enough only to pay bills, let alone college fees. My education will be funded by the state. Joining a free program is a hard nut to crack. How did you manage? Hardworking. If it was only that easy. Lazy people tend to complicate challenges to be addressed, especially if someone succeeds against all odds. Playing smart? Of course, why not? You don't look like a crammer. Thanks, I guess. I graduated from school a few years ago, so I had time to prepare for admission to the university and use some allowances in selecting candidates. Allowances? Yes. What yes? What kind of allowances? As a conscious citizen, I took part in some events acting on behalf of the state, for which I got certain allowances that helped me make the cut. I want to say that citizens' contribution to the affairs of the state is the key to admission to university and not their intellect. Everything is considered, being clever is not enough. Crammers make good executives, and the university prepares those who will manage, including those executive crammers. And you naturally want to rule over them. No, I don't need it. I just want to benefit the society where I grew up. Virtuous motive. What is your faculty? Law. Oh. Don't like law? It seems I'm in this hall because of it. I see, some people may think it's boring. If you don't like it, why are you here? I don't think you're happy to be here either, but you're still here. I find it interesting. I think you're lying. Good lawyers know how to lie, huh? Not as good as you. Me? How am I lying? I didn't say that you're lying, I just thought that if you're lying, you're doing it better than me. Why do you think so? Everybody lies one way or another, and as you're older, it makes sense to assume that you've got more experience with it than me. So it makes sense to assume that you lie better than a person with less experience. Hey, psht. Okay, what? Don't go into unnecessary detail. What? If she a girlfriend for chatting, huh? Just a little bit and she'll start fishing how you pulled into a life like this, and know what? She'll be good at that. Just go and feed your cat, I'll figure it out. I've got a cat. Who's that? Secretary. Actually, it's a cat. I'm a mentor of this trainee. Oh, a kitty. I adore kitties. No, you don't. Yes, I don't. I prefer dogs. You see, this is what I'm talking about. I lie like a toddler, and my inability to lie often backfires. By the way, I believed you. About what? That she's your secretary. Even you believe your own lies. Do you really think I'm your secretary? Well, I do. It doesn't matter. You're just a trainee, but already despise this place. Why do you deceive yourself and are here? I can't just leave. Why? I need to wrap up the case, so do it. That's what I'm doing. I need to puzzle out the details. You need to puzzle out the details or wrap up the case. Okay, I'm gonna say, but I don't think it's gonna matter. How can I just dismiss you all? No. You said that nobody needs it anyway. You're doing your job. Stop your fucking with my head. Nobody but you. It's important for you to figure out the details of these cases. People are waiting outside the door and they rely on you. And you just want to send them to the devil? Literally to the devil? Do you mean Satan? What? What Satan? What are you talking about? I'm doing good. You're doing bullshit. Get to the job. So you see? Failure. We have to fulfill our obligations. Let's take care of your case. As you say. Big decision. Good. And now you might go and play with your damn pussy. What? Oh, right. Cat. It's a tom cat. Well, according to my information, there are 2 more applicants. Maybe. What do you mean by maybe? It means maybe. You're scaring me. You're making me angry. I can give you some glycine. Very angry. Ouch. You won't leave this place until we finish. Not a problem. As I said, I like it here. And I don't. You're giving me a headache. You're giving me a headache too, but I just don't mind. Please, let's just get over with it. Okay, what do you want to know? There were 3 candidates for final selection, right? Right. After entrance exams, 3 candidates for joining the free program were left for the final selection. But I think I'm a more prospective candidate. Why would you say that? Personal taking of the situation. You're hiding something. Of course, that's because I answer questions and not make my confession. Imagine that you're confessing to me. Fine, then imagine that I already confessed. What? No. As many times as possible. What a person you are. A good one. So be a good girl. I am a good girl. You're so irritating, psycho. Well, if you're not a psycho, let it be. I'm fed up with your airs and graces. Oops. It's better not to mess with you, huh? I got why you're so sure of your admittance to the university. Really? Something happened to other candidates. If you know everything, why do we talk? It's my work, babe. Making clear the details of events and being honest is in your best interest. Very well, okay. Tell me what you know. It's hard to tell that the first candidate was a candidate at all. You know, a dummy to demonstrate the policy of our state, which gives a chance to everyone. I saw an order for expulsion from the final stage of selection for Greenwood S. Greenwood? Huh. Okay. Obviously, it's not me and not the second candidate. It means that his participation in that competition is just theater. His, by the way, as well. Where did you see this document? Does it really matter? I was concerned about my choice and managed to peep something somewhere. Alright, then why do you have a bad opinion about this candidate? Me, not only me, everybody scratched their heads over why he managed to pass the exams and get to the final test stage. Why? Well, in addition to his stupidity, there were some weird rumors of him. Rumors? Yes, rumors. So when people talk about a person in his absence, sometimes just cock and bull stories, other times... I know what rumors are, I'm asking what rumors were about this candidate. Okay, easy up. I can't read your mind, speak clearer. You're toying with my patience. Calm down. So there's a bizarre story. A few years ago, this Greenwood was accused of raping. Okay, so that's the link. But he cooperated with the investigators and helped them imprison his own father for life. Wait. His own father? Huh. For what? Well, perhaps they didn't get along, you know, the eternal problems of fathers and sons. I'm asking why they put him in jail for life. Father, they say, for the involvement of minors in prostitution, kidnapping, drug trafficking, and fuck only know what else. They say he didn't even pay taxes, can you imagine? Pure psychopath. So the first candidate was involved in the criminal activity of his father? There are such rumors, and having imprisoned his father, he coaxed freedom for himself, and from all appearances, a chance to enter university. But that doesn't change the fact that he's a rapist, criminal. How could they admit him to the university? Nobody admitted him to anything. As I said, it was just a show. It's obvious that such a candidate has no chance for getting an education in a university, even if he has enough intellect and skills to pass all the selection stages and be enrolled. Why is that? What do you think? A third of the country's population got through the chopper of local conflicts, although the people understood that it was the slaughter of civil war. And while those people rot in tank huts, their daughters were kidnapped and drugged and made them have 10 clients per day. And now a person who is directly related to these actions is released from jail and given a chance to be admitted to university on the taxpayer dime. How long will this person will walk free before a veteran mad from the loss of his daughter while he defended the interests of his home state comes across him? Ooh, don't know. I know. 4 weeks approximately. This is how long that bastard needed to feel on himself how the pendulum he had started swung back and hit himself as soon as he got out of jail. Do you want to say he's dead? No, he's alive, at least to the best of my belief, but he wouldn't be able to piss standing. What, why? He had an accident, a motorcycle accident. More accurately, somebody knocked him off his bike. Needless to say, that accident could not do without psychological consequences. After all, a heavy car covered in metal all around against a light bike, the driver of which is open to every blow of fate, the outcome is predetermined. Especially when they get you after hitting by a car from a trench back the road and break your haunch bones with a sledgehammer. According to rumors, of course. How could anyone do such a thing? Perhaps one of the fathers whose daughter was raped. Yeah. Now that Buster... Admit it, now that Buster will find it hard to move his pelvis in that direction. I was safe, but I guess we laugh. Ha. Ha ha ha. It's quite dreadful to hear. I believe you heard more dreadful stories here. Stories? Pff, it's about your laughter. I did not used to hear human laughter in this place. Yes, my apologies. Something came over me, it's nerves. Now it's clear about the first candidate. What about the second one? What about the second one? Did you know him? I was pretty close to her, a good girl in her way, smart enough, she was fond of birds. Okay, that's that one. We had plenty to talk about. Were you friends? No, it hardly was friendship. We talked a little together, but not so much. Sometimes we met at the park where we watched birds. Her love for the feathered race was weird. I can swear that she literally drooled over them. What do you mean? All her diet was poultry meat, one way or another. Especially she valued pine forest and wild game. However she tried, she was a lame hunter, that's why game rarely appeared in her mouth. Did you go hunting together? No, of course no. I don't eat birds, that's barbarity. Killing such marvelous creatures just to feed that cow is beyond the pale. Which cow? Who are we talking about? The girl was plumpy. Then why do we know about I can't read. Then why do you know about her hunting skills? She told me, begged me to tell her where a meadow where I often watch quails was. She was crazy with quails, but I didn't get it. How can you eat them? Firstly, what to eat? There are so little like a dow, and most of them is feathers. Secondly, how can you eat them? Did you see them? They are wonderful. Sometimes we argued because of it. How can you eat what you love? It appears that you eat not this, but you love eating it. Sick love indeed. You said plumpy as I get it, she didn't grow thin. No, fortunately she had an accident. Let me guess, did she step on a grenade, aftermath of war? Of course accidentally, or did she shoot herself dead while cleaning the gun of a veteran neighbor? I'm not sure what you mean, but she didn't. I know it's second hand. They say she got poisoned with poultry meat. Such an irony. How can it be? Did someone slip her poisoned food? Don't know. As best as I can tell, cicutoxin was found in her body. Maybe someone told her about the meadow with so many quails she liked, so many as ants in an anthill. It may be that cat parsley grew there, also known as cicuta. And what does that tell you? Probably quails on this meadow ate cicuta and their meat contained cicutoxin. Knowing the various appetite of that cow, if she shot a bag of quails, she could cook and eat that bag at a time. It might well be that she lost that war with birds. You don't look too upset. I believe it's quite fair. If you kill for food, be ready that this food may kill you. An interesting turn of events, unusual. This is the time we live in now, and all turned out in your favor. All? Nothing was in my favor in this life. It was me who created all the favors myself. And dumping these candidates, did you organize it? Why? Seriously? They did it well without me. Want to say that you have nothing to do with this? Of course not. What does it have to do with me? I think there's something you are not telling me. I'm not telling you a lot of things. You want to know something, ask, not accuse. Don't hang on my every word need. Before entering university, you were in the civil service. I didn't tell you that. Okay, you were acting for the state. There are not a lot of options as to what you were doing at that age. Did you serve in the military? Or why the army? Volunteering can also be in the interest of the state. What do we have in the end? You and 2 other people are applying for free program joining, which is almost mythical. And suddenly, one of these 2 has a conflict with pharma soldiers. Do not dare to call them veterans. And were they soldiers? Maybe scumbag hirelings? And the other one is poisoning herself with a bird. Didn't you tell her about your meadow? Didn't you realize what this looks like? Frankly, I don't care how it looks. If you have something specific, please tell me. If you don't, from nothing comes nothing. You set it up. Oh, how can you say that? Stop showing off, it's not a theater. In that case, do you have anything to charge me with? No. Anything else you want to know? No, we're done. Okay. Applicant of the faculty disadvantage. Passed the entrance exams flawlessly, along with 2 other candidates. The first candidate eliminated due to... Oh, we can do it so that it seems as if she actually done it, technically. Huh. Okay, well, I did disadvantage already, so I'm gonna go this way. 2 accidents, by the way. But I'm gonna do this one. Truly, I have nothing to charge you with, but I don't believe a word you say. Go and be useful somewhere. I think that's more your problem than mine. Get your head treated, and your nurse. What him? Did she look familiar to you? She kind of looked like adult Hannah, that's true. Huh, I was safe. Is she adult Hannah? Maybe. Sometimes people dramatically change over their lives. Some get so many trails that life grinds them more than once, as if molding new people. Take you, for example, me. No biggie. About your decision. What's wrong with it? Don't you feel a bad taste in the mouth? What bad taste? Like you're screwed up. What are you trying to say? That in a retard contest, you'd be ranked no higher than second. Why second? That's exactly why. Oh my days. Don't be hurt, it's just my feeling from your conversation. Nobody cares. The main thing is that the case has moved on. I care. Yeah, but you didn't get anything out of her and made a decision at a venture. No, it seems I start recollecting something. Some vague details of all these cases. Interesting, you might find it more useful in your next case. Okay, so there's one more. Well, I'm guessing it's one. Okay, wait. Yeah, we are at an hour and a half mark, but might as well finish it. Are you here? Where else would I be? I don't know. Watching TV shows or drinking tea with colleagues? I don't really know what you're doing. My job? Sorting out cases. We have many things in common. How many more do you supervise? Only you. Your workload is low, isn't it? You shouldn't think so. There are a lot more cases waiting outside the door than I'm giving you, but not all of them are for your trial. Why? Because they're not that important. I only give you the important cases, the cases that bring a person here to this office. Gosh. Why so negative? Don't know, for some reason I feel guilty for everyone I had to talk to in this office. Stop this nonsense, nobody needs this. It's bullshit, remember? Boring red tape about which nobody cares, but things should be made as clear as bell to maintain order. I think I'm here to help these people make things as clear as a bell for themselves. So, isn't it order? I'm afraid. What exactly are you afraid of? I don't know, maybe everything? Where am I? Who am I? I can't even remember my name. Who are you? What's this all about? Stop. You're thinking about unnecessary things. Where are you? You're here. We're here. Whatever. Now you're here. Who are you? Maybe you're a detached thought from this case only. And maybe you are the fate of these people. Or you are me. Or maybe just nobody and you got no name. And you can't have it as you are just a flash of nothing and nowhere. Maybe I'm God. Alright, slow down. What the fucking God are you? It's obvious. One with amnesia. How long have I been here? What do you mean by how long? You've always been here. Like any other person. Before you got there, you were here. You finish here, you move on. But you will still be here. We are all in the same place. It's just a pretty big place, I would say. Immense. But here in this office, how long have I been sitting here? Did you go cold or something? If I can't even remember my name, could it be that I am an eternal confinement in this office, but sometimes forget it? And every time you say hello, impatiently explain to me what to do once again, and a new cycle begins, lasting until I forget everything again. Why? I don't know. It's too complicated. Would I have to explain everything to you all over again? No way. Even I'd go crazy. The world is much simpler, but people like to bend a more complicated pretzel out of themselves. I can't argue with that. And yet, you haven't reassured me. I'm getting more anxious. Well, you know what people say, if something scares you, face it. But why? It's obvious, to overcome your fears. Nonsense. You know, I'm scared of alligators so much, but if I come close to it, it won't be less scary, it will just bite my face off. High flight of mind is not about you. Yep. Okay, don't sweat it. You won't get money for it anyway. Even if you fail to do your job, what's going on here is going to end anyway. Because everything ends, and as we all know, no screw up lasts forever. Tell Adam and Eve about it. I will. And you, be ready to see the next visitor. Oh, how long should I do the dirty laundry for other people? What do you mean, other? Come on. All your own people. Well, yeah, my own. All men are brothers and sisters. I continuously feel ashamed for every word said here, as if I am reading my daughter's diary. But you don't have a daughter. No, but it feels like. So it goes. That's the way people live their lives. What feels like the right decision now causes regrets and shame later. Perhaps it's okay. No one is born wise. Some people do not become wise even by the end of life. Right. Fine, who's next? Very well, a combative mood. It is praiseworthy. And the next is quite a serious character. We have a master of destiny here to see us. You know what I mean? Isn't it God? Do you think that the trial of God is acceptable? Don't know. I think many people have many questions to ask him. Many people have many questions to ask themselves. But it scares them to ask the questions themselves, since it may be the answer to all of them is the man. At this point, the world of many people may fall apart like a house of cards, which the man himself accidentally broke. Who is to blame for it? The Democrats, it depends. Oh, hell with it, what kind of person are you? Okay, last one. Judge, the next guest is a judge. Oh, so I'm guessing he's the judge behind the trial of, like, the person being framed, right? The father. Okay. The details of the case. Okay. Like me. Yes, that's pretty close to the truth. I believe you'll find common ground. Okay, let's do it. Hi. Well, hi. I tried to understand what happened and where I got to, and now here you are. It would be eerie if it wasn't so ironic, but it explains many things. Certainly, I did not expect it. Don't stand in the doorway, come and sit down. Do I have any choice? I think not. So that's her. That's Hannah, right? Your office has my respect, as if I had already been here. Take no offense, I worked in the same office. Wait, is that the same person, basically, that was coming here? Take no offense, I worked in the same office for many years. Just the sight of it gives me the shivers. And that awful smell, what's it, gasoline? Well, that's true, it smells like gasoline. There was no smell before. It is coming from you. Looks like. About choice of perfume? Bug off. Okay, but I've been here for long and you've just come. Shall we talk? With you? What are you confused about? Shall you judge a judge? That's ironic indeed. Who knows how I'm fed up with all this? What are you talking about? About all this, trials, judges, all this hypocritical bullshit. But you're a judge too. That's exactly why I know better than others what I'm talking about. Why do you have this opinion? Since we judge by law, not by justice, can you get it? Sure. He's a representative of a company with an army of lawyers behind his back. And on the other side is a person far from the law who believes if he tells about this problem before the court, it will be enough to understand and help him. He doesn't understand that, for instance, trumped up evidence and false testimony of witnesses given the absence of any objection from the other side may contribute to rendering a legal but not just verdict. And we live with it, trying not to torture themselves once and again. Live our common life. There is some other life beyond the walls of our offices, and that some other life can break into ours at any time. You can always hire a lawyer. Can I? And where is my lawyer? You judge me, but not But now not by law, but by justice. And what are the standards of justice? There are none. It means you judge me by your own ideas of justice, and I don't want it. Why? I think that the trial of me is unjust. Why? Because I am the one who judges, and not the one who's being judged. I'm afraid it's unavoidable. We are being judged all our lives, to begin with people around us and ending with ourselves. Tell me, what do you mean by talking about other life, which can break into ours? It's complicated. We are here to figure everything out and deliver a verdict. I'd say, to give an estimate, what will happen next, including the verdict, is not my jurisdiction. Even so, however I could guess, it's unlikely that the person who actually decides things would be sitting in this hellhole. Just forget the goddamn office. Sorry, I really thought I was in for something more than this. Did you often think about it? Often. As it happens, my life hasn't turned out so well. There were reasons to think. It is sad to look with fresh eyes at what you got used to at the cost of hard work. You, a person with such position and status, shouldn't complain. And where did I turn to be? Sitting here like a naughty hooligan. I am a respected person, but turned out to be here. And because of whom? Because of a common thief. It seems not so common if you are here because of her. Hitting a person with a car is a no-brainer. Oh, you remember how you were here? That's new. You know, it's not every day you see a car coming at a full speed. It seems you got in her way. I have many enemies, it's true, both among those who I'm locked behind the bars and among their cronies on the loose. There have been a dozen attempts on my life. I was stabbed, I was shot, I was raped, but I never backed down. I was an honest judge and I was good at my job, but I think we both know that everything before the boat worth is worthless. As I already said, sometimes law and justice are different things. You betrayed your ideals to get a fair shake, did you? Fuck off. If someone betrayed anyone, it's definitely not me. One has to bear responsibility for every his act. The law couldn't hold her responsible, but I could. I made her answer for her actions. That's what I became a judge for. And where did that get you? To you. To answer for your actions. What brought you to this decision? You were an honest judge with strong convictions and high moral principles. What made you give them up? Injustice. I want to ask you to be more sincere with me. Isn't everything here known about everything? No, the details are always left to us. That's why you're here, making it clear for us, and apparently for yourself. Smart. What are you talking about? Let me put ideas in order. What made me renounce my beliefs? Damn, it's been a long time. I don't know where to start. Start with what made you betray yourself. Case number 7, whatever. The circumstances of this case go through my life as a red thread. I can't say that this made me betray myself. Some of my beliefs that were formed by my age, certainly not, but not myself. I've done worse things in my life, but justice was always important to me. Like in this case, it was so important that the law took a back seat. Did it often happen that the law took a back seat? Since I became a judge, not even once, before that case. Why is this case so unique? That girl. All the shit happened in my life can be traced back to her. We knew each other long ago when we were kids. She opened my heart to anger. How did she manage it? It was so simple and silly, as always when a trifle happens, which instills in your heart something casting a shadow over your life. Fucking attic. We got to a dirty attic to play with kittens, which she hid there from her mom. I remember I had a new dress. I was so proud of it. Yeah, okay, so she's the girl in the first, third, and now 5th trial, basically, I think. I was so proud of it, and she was always trying to get it dirty. She'd wipe her hands, she'd lean me against the wall. When we found the kittens, their mom was there, mommy cat. I didn't like cats, I'm allergic to them, which is what I told my friend. That little bitch started laughing and throwing kittens at me. It seemed too cruel to me, and I pushed her, but instead I fell onto the cat's shit in my new dress. The little bitch started rolling with laughter even louder, having a kitten by the tail. I lost self-control, leaving only rank malice at this little skunk. Without a moment's thought, I stood up and hit her. Not hard, but she stumbled and fell off the stairs. What? Your story sounds suspicious. What are you trying to say? An overly one-sided presentation of information. You clearly demonstrate the actions of your friend to establish yourself as a victim. What can I do if that's the way it was? Was it? Sometimes people make an impression that you're a bad person so that not feel guilty for what they did to you. It looks like you're doing it right now. Reading me like a book? I know that story. Chloe. Chloe, right? She's Emily, I believe. Ah, bro. Okay, no, I'm loading this. Okay, is it load? Okay, Emily. Right, if you know the story, why are you asking me? I'm so bad. I'm mixing the people already. To make it clear, I put it in order. Did you forget? And not only me, but you need it too. I'm telling you how everything happened, but... Oh, the Chloe was the... Huh, I'm not sure what the... Chloe was the Simon one, right? With story about Simon. Everything happened, put it in order yourself. How did this story end? This story did not end, it lasted till now, but that time has turned tragic. Tragic, but Emily made it our life, otherwise how did you appear here, right? What's up with that? That day she broke her arm and her head. It looked awful, especially to a child whom I was then, but nothing serious. But then, what happened next? She ratted on me to her mom. It upset me because she was responsible for starting the conflict. I thought she was my best friend. I trusted her like myself, but she betrayed me, bad-mouthed. The scandal erupted. It triggered a turn of negative events in my life. What exactly happened next? Different vicious gossip was spreading about our family. I became almost a local curiosity. Notoriety no one else would like. What kind of gossip? Devil's family. They said that mom was one of the Satan's whores who cheated on dad and that he was a fool and Christ living unaware Jesus. People said that I was a damned child, a premature child obsessed with demons and so on. Of course there was a grain of truth to it. I was a premature child. Mom said that I was born almost 5 weeks premature, but I don't think that demons or Satan played their part in it. Emily's mom was a pious woman, but shot to bits. Fucking bigot. What happened next? Finally we had to move. For the first time in a long period, Mom and I could get outside and not hear people gossiping behind our backs. And we were happy with a new house. But my father, he didn't want to move and held off the decision till the last. But soon he probably understood, too, that the teenage girl was unsafe living in a city where people despised her. At the new place, Dad had problems with his job. Money was not enough. Parents often fought because of that. At least I thought it was the reason for home scandals. But Father took his heart, worked without weekends, often on business trips, including to our native city. Over time, trips became longer. Dad talked to us less. Mom said that he grew cold to us. But I didn't notice much difference. He grew cold to me back then after the incidents with Emily. We didn't talk much since. And then Dad abandoned us. Died? No, just left and never came back. Mom said that Dad went to look for his happiness. I suppose he found it. Then, many years later, I found out that he returned to our native city and married Emily's mom. It turned out that they had an affair long before all these events. What? That sly bitch, Emily's mom, kicked us off the native city just to cut out with someone else's man. And my father. Did you stay in touch with him? No, he just disappeared from our lives. I didn't know what happened to him and where he was for a long time. Yeah, she didn't know at the time when she was being judged by us in the earlier trial, let's say. And later when you grew up. I wanted to, but plucking up my spirits too long. What happened? An accident. Ran over a shell in his spouse's car. What? When someone blows up another person in his car, it is not an accident but murder. Yes, if someone blows up another person, and if that person blows himself up, for example, because of his ham-handedness. It's an accident. Police stated that it was it. Wow, okay. Don't know, probably the aftermath of war. Many things were scattered all over the country and spread in cellars. Okay, I see. The story is starting to make sense here. Did your father take part in the conflict? He did. He knew that after graduation I joined the army. Mom wrote to him to talk me out of it, but she received no response. When the war began, he concluded a contract with the Ministry of Defense. As far as I know, he even fought for a while. Perhaps he pocketed the keepsake there. Why do you think he went to war? Don't know. As you could understand, he was a jerk, and jerks do some fucked up things. Don't you think that he felt responsible? That he didn't try to impact your decision, and when the war began, was feared for you? Pfft. If he was feared, he would be feared for himself. Feared living with a burden of responsibility if something would happen to me. This could compel him to make that decision, and me? He didn't need me either before or after. Why do you think so? It was a problem to him that made the perception of this life harder. How can you see yourself as an honest good man if you betrayed your family? To him, my existence somewhere was a thorn in his flesh. Everlasting memory of what a scum he was. Did you regret what happened? Sorry about him leaving us. I'm especially sorry about him leaving us for those two bitches. I'm sorry that I didn't have a chance to look into his eyes, but I wasn't sorry about him dying like a ham-handed moron. You bet. In a nutshell, life went off the rails. But it's the events of bygone days that couldn't derail all your life. Derail? No, but the world distorted irrevocably. When Dad left, we didn't have any money, we had to move again, but that time to the city outskirts, to a flimsy shack on the street. Damn, I can't remember the name of the street. That town was not a progressive spot at all, but the district where we moved seemed a deserted hole altogether. To feed us, Mom sometimes worked for days on end, and we saw each other quite rarely. What a teenager could do in this situation. What? Nothing good. Soon fit friends appeared, and together with them alcohol, drugs, destructive behavior and so on. A favorite spot for pastime, either a landfill or a shabby diner, right. You had a friend. What the fuck friends they were? Just hanging out together, getting drunk with cheap beer. Sometimes taking some shit, puffing weed and dragging each other by hair because of a jerk on a bike. That kind of friendship. Sad to hear, but as far as I know, you still had one friend. Monica? Friend, you say? At one of the parties, I was too drunk and she put me under some asshole she knew. I was hardly raped then for the first time. I hardly fought him off. I was lucky that he was that drunk too. You know, why did she do that? To make a whore out of me in the eyes of her boyfriend, to stop him give me the looks, got it? Of course she denied it all, and how can you prove it? That's the kind of friend. I'm not about her. When you moved, you met a girl. How was her name? You know about Chloe? Of course, you told me about her. When? You came to this office a bit earlier, just after you had a quarrel with Chloe. So that's how it all works here. Perhaps I shouldn't tell you about it. These are in-house procedures. Perhaps I shouldn't... perhaps you have to think first before talking. And you could have gotten my point across on what's going on earlier. If I had to, I would have. Who's that? Don't know. She monitors the process. I know this voice. Maybe it stayed in the memory. Nothing stayed in her memory. Don't delude yourself that you understand how it all works here. I'll erase your memory and we'll start anew. Can she do that? Can you do that? Of course not. Relax. Just kidding. I can feel an uncomfortable pause. Well, I have to go on and do my business. Keep on. Never mind, she's actually good. But you don't know who she is. I feel I can trust her. Trust is not about me. Not about me either, however I trust her. For no good reason? Maybe for no good reason, you know. I have no choice, but you had one. Because you didn't get along with Chloe, because you didn't trust her. Yes, the situation with Emily deformed my idea of friendship. I waited until Chloe betrayed me too, but she didn't. Now I can understand it, but she could do it, at least it was coming. Still, she didn't do it. We cannot judge people by what they can do, we judge only when the action is done. I know it, but then I was waiting for a knife in the back from any person, from any situation. But that didn't happen and you stabbed it yourself. What did happen to her? Did you know where she ran away? No, she hardly ran away. You were sure of that? What made you change your mind? A year later, not far away from the cornfield, the rags of a school uniform were found, with traces of blood and a bracelet, which was identified as hers. Police started a missing case, but it's all in vain. Some thoughts on the matter? They were, and many, but now they don't matter. That day when she asked you for help, things could have been different. Yes, I thought a lot about this, but the distracted idea of the world didn't allow me to estimate the situation soberly, and I lost Chloe. Does it hurt? Did you love her? It hurt that she made me doubt of her commitment to our friendship. Because of that, I finally made up my mind about her betraying me. Betraying me like Dad. Like everyone else betrayed me. It seems like you blame everyone but you. What is my fault? Want to say that you never betrayed anyone? Even if we sweep Chloe under the rug, who probably waited for you while you were hanging out with Simon? Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Don't say his name. I betrayed nobody who trusted me, always. I always made sure that people get what they deserve. However, when you served in the army... Shut the fuck up. What can you know about it? All who trusted you were killed because of you. Liar. You told me how you deactivated ammo. Okay, so it was her at every stage. Fuck, it's impossible to talk to you. What else do you know? The ammo was not deactivated, what? The method you used, it doesn't work with the modern ammo. Hannah, you knew about it. Someday we all get to know about our deeds. You knew it from the very beginning. No, of course not. I never... Those people, they were my companions in arms. I remember them all. I remember how they died. I remember the eyes of the wounded guys when we finished them after the fight. And I remember the price they paid to keep me alive, and the price I took on myself. What price? How did you actually survive? I bought out my life. What do you mean? To that moment, our machine gunner Dustin and I were the only ones who survived. We had a choice. They would kill us both, or one of us would shot down the other and stay alive. They threw a gun with one bullet to us. One of the bullets I sold them, I was told. You grabbed the gun first. No, Dustin gave it to me. He said that he couldn't do it or live with it. Is that the machine gunner that was in love with you? Yes. And you shot him. That's how I learned that deactivating ammo was futile. Fuck. Your life cost more than just Dustin's. It cost the lives of all of them, do you understand? We were all doomed. If we hadn't been stormed, we would have been buried under artillery fire. And yet, isn't that the betrayal you accuse everyone of? Isn't that hypocrisy? We are the judges. Hypocrisy comes as a bonus to our awards. Your callousness is striking. You're the only one who returned from your division. How can you sleep after all? I didn't return. Part of me is still fighting in those trenches, and every night I wake up to our position being stormed by the enemy. I almost didn't sleep those days, but that played into the hands. I had more time to prepare for admission to the university. I think you should have gone to a therapist instead of thinking about education. No, that was the whole point. I needed to get into university, and that's what I went through the meat grinder for. For what? To become a judge, to bring justice so that people get what they deserve despite their ranks and titles. To be judged not by the black letter law, but by the essence of the deed committed. And for the sake of that, you were ready to do anything. That was the plan, and it did not involve the death of people. They couldn't foresee the war, but reality always makes adjustments. let's talk about these, maybe. So that's what we need to fill the actual thing on. What are you talking about? It's clear about the war, but if your plan didn't suppose the death of people, what can you say about those two candidates who failed to pass the selection? What can I say? As best as I can tell, one of them is still alive, if you can call it life. What's with him? What may happen to a rapist who became a castrate? His life didn't turn out better. He had been in trouble with police repeatedly, hunted petty thefts, was hooked on hard drugs, deep in debt. There was nothing to take from him, so local thugs made him prostitute. In what way? As a whore, finally because of abusing synthetic drugs, his leg rotted off, but he was timely provided medical assistance. They amputated his leg, gave him crutches. You're well informed. I was keeping a check on his fate, and at one point picked him from a den and turned him into the doctors. Now he's lying somewhere on the streets, goes a-begging. Why did you do it? Well, otherwise he'd die. Did you worry about his life? If you say so. Because of feeling guilty? What guilt? That bastard should pay for what he did to the fool, and for this he has to live every second allotted to him on Earth. But his life is awful. So are his actions. Do you know what happened to the girls he raped? No. Neither do I, and what happened to him I know full well. You take care of his life to make him suffer. I don't give a damn about his sufferings. He has to get his fairing, and he's doing it. And the second candidate, did you kill her? Did you kill her? What? As in, you killed her, didn't you? It was an accident. She got poisoned, as I remember, with birds which ate some shit. Didn't you play a part in it? No, she ate them. She got poisoned. It was an accident. And you don't have any relation to the attack on the first candidate. Was it just a turn of accident events which accidentally opened a gate for meeting your goals? I'd say lucky events. And you still claim that you have nothing to do with these two cases. If you don't know about the opposite, how can I testify against myself? What about the 51 article of the Constitution? What's with it? I have a right not to testify against myself, my spouse and close relatives. You have nobody. I have myself. Doesn't it seem that now is a somewhat different situation? It does, but I am what I have done. This is part of me, and if I deny it, nothing will be left of me, and what is happening will make no sense at all. Yeah, you're giving me a dilemma. I remember when you were a kid, you wanted to be a vet. You liked birds, do you remember? Yes, I still like them, but my dream moved from my childhood to old age. I thought that I would move to the snowy forest up north and live surrounded by bullfinches. Remember bullfinches? No, I don't remember anything. They are small birds with red plumage on their breasts, on the branches of snow-covered firs. They look like gleaming splinters of flame at sunset. Quite sloppy reflections for a person with hands covered in blood. And blood, and yours? Ordinary hands, Jesus. Just like mine, aren't they? Do you think working a judge, your hands stay clean? They get dirty. Every decision we make splashes on us, blood and shit. That's why you're judging me, because you are just like me. We're not talking about me, as you say. Did you blame Emily for getting your hands dirty? The shadow she born held my hand for all my life. You failed to overcome the children's offense and decided to revenge on her. They haven't. I've been committed to my job for 20 years. Thousands of lives passed my hands. Nobody, not a single person could blame me for the unfair performance of my duties. It was impossible either to scare or bribe me. My guys could be proud of me. They paid with their lives for a good reason. The world owes them for justice, not less than me. It was so until the case 712M appeared on my table and that very girl who brought darkness on me sat on the dock, Emily. She didn't recognize me, well, why should she? But I recognized her right away. Everything matched the city, the age, Even the scar from the fall was in the same place. I remember it. A black, eerie hole beneath bloody flesh, with the pink bone of a skull picking out its... What? Would that really look like that? The last time I saw her crying on those bloody stairs as a child, and now her fate is in my hands, the fate of the person who had such an impact on my own. Of course, my first desire was to avenge her for everything, to raze her life to the ground, and I almost decided to do it, but what did stop you? It was her. Emily was accused under not very serious article. She was on guard while her buddies were burgling a house. She was the only one arrested, and if she had turned in her accomplices, she would probably have gotten off with probation, but she didn't. Do you understand? The person who was the epitome of betrayal to me showed her loyalty, and to whom? To some thieves. Did that hurt you? Yeah, at first, but it gave me a new perspective on her. I didn't feel that contempt for her anymore. Frankly, I felt something akin to respect for her. But another problem raised from this. Because of her incredible loyalty to her cronies, the case was falling apart and I couldn't let that happen. Is that why you judge her not according to the law, but according to your understanding of justice? You could put it that way. The point of my work is always the same. The criminal must be held accountable for his deeds, and in her case, also for the deeds of her accomplices. How to achieve this is not so important. Then it was a mere formality, under fake pretext. I rejected the arguments of the defense and prompted the position of the prosecution. The result, 5 years in prison. As you understand, the story doesn't end there. I didn't think of it then, but now I realize I didn't provide for everything. Another fucked up plan? You may say so. You see, there's not much to do in prison. You start remembering things, digging into the past. I think one of the nights, looking up at the ceiling, she thought, right, that's how I know her. She started writing papers for rehearing. It was no use, of course. How do you prove a conflict of interest in this case? You can't. Maybe having served 5 years, she would not hold a grudge against me, but everything turned out differently. The plan just keeps getting more fucked up. Yes, in one of the prison fights, she overdid it and sent her cellmate to the other world. She got another 10 years. She never filled another petition for rehearing. Then I realized that sooner or later, we would meet again. And so we did. The last thing I remember is tires screeching, headlights, and her grinning, aged face. And here we are, so I can responsibly say that my life story began with her and it ends with her. Who do you blame for that? It's hard to say right now. I pursued a noble goal, but I can't deny that I made a lot of mistakes. Perhaps if I had a second chance, I could have tried to correct something. In what way? Emily distorted my perception of life, and that came back to haunt her years later. I guess that's how karma works. You make some decisions, and years later the consequences of these decisions catch up with you and kick your ass. Are you talking about yourself or Emily? Everyone has events in their lives that are the consequences of earlier decisions. I think if I could take some action now, maybe it could make a difference in the future. I think it's too late to think about these things. Why? Why? Your life didn't end. Nothing and never ends. Everything is constantly changing, flowing from one thing to another, becoming something else. You will think it's over, and that will be the beginning. My story flowed into our conversation. And I'm guessing you're deciding now what the beginning of that will be. Well, Judge, can you give me a second chance? Second chance, and you? Did you give a second chance to all those people whose lives you destroyed because of your anger, greed, cowardice, envy, pride? Yes, I was a horrible person, but you even got here because you couldn't give Emily a second chance when you were able to, and now you ask for yourself. I still can help her. Help? It is you who made her a monster. She destroyed my life. She was just a kid, Hannah. And who was I, in your opinion? You had a whole life to grow up. So did she, but we both carried that shit throughout our lives. Just give me a chance to finish it for both of us. I want to try. Maybe I can still do something for her, for those who left. Do you repent? Come on, it's not a church. I understand everything and don't wait for mercy. I just ask for a chance to change something, at least for someone. That's enough. I need to think. It's time to make a decision. Okay. Over the years of individual events, the judge's case is the most complicated. Perhaps things are complicated by the fact that this one, the person involved in case is involved in case. So it was Emily, a childhood friend. During the conversation with the judge, the details of the case of the previous visitors were revealed as they were people who played an important role in the life of a judge at different stages of life. No, it was judge at different stages of life. This one, I guess. No, you don't deserve it. I understand, it's a fair decision. What are you waiting for? Tell me, my guys. My guys, have they been here? No, only you've been here. And you? Me? Hannah. It's spelled with one H. Outside the door. Wow. Okay, I did it in one shot, so my throat is gone. It's... But... Huh. I'm guessing that's the end. Okay. So... Very heavy, very cool story about, you know, justice and revenge and morals, you know, forgiveness. Huh. It's good. I like it. Definitely. The kind of art style is what brought me first to the game, but the actual story is good. The actual story is cool. Obviously we haven't got to know some details, I would say. Oh, there we go. Okay. I mean, yeah, we still don't know who the actual rapist was of the urban legend, because it wasn't the dad who then went to marry Emily's mom or something like that, right? It wasn't him. So there are some details that we haven't get to know. Maybe on a second playthrough or something. I don't know how much the decisions we choose make a difference. Obviously, I'm not gonna play it the second time or anything. I might check for myself later on from reviews of what people said and stuff. Or like watch a different ending on YouTube or something. But overall, yeah, it was nice. Sound design was good. I like the background music was sort of... It wasn't tension building, but it was not like... I don't know how to say it. It wasn't really Happy Eva or anything like that. It was very clean, very fitting. Interestingly, yeah, as you read, because it's... before I was thinking that I'm not gonna call it a horror visual novel, but it is a horror visual novel in the end. I thought there's gonna be more variety of jump scares after the first, you know, monitor jump scare, I guess, because then we had like... That happened like 3 times. I guess we had the jump scare with the judge and with the hands, which were 2 different ones, so that's still cool. But yeah, it was overall you know, I got into it, I was reading, and then, you know, the jump scare got away some of the tension. It you know, released some of the tension from me. So still, they are in a good separation of time, let's say. Like those jump scare in good, you know, they're not too often, they're not too rare. They're in fine intervals. It's interesting how I couldn't see that. Well, I only saw it's her, like, at the last stage, which I'm not sure if I'm just being stupid or if that's how well the game is written, the story is written. Because essentially, I didn't think the girl in the army was her, and the university girl at first, I wasn't sure. Or the child, I guess. One of those. So yeah, definitely a cool game. If someone has pressed here to check the review, but hasn't played the game, I do recommend it if you're a fan of visual novels and you don't mind the horror of it, I guess, the jump scares and anything. The jump scares are not that bad. They are spooky, but not that bad. So yeah, well, overall, yeah, a great game. I do recommend it. It was cool. We'll see if the developer of this one has other visual novels, and we might play it someday, if that's the case. Because this one is older. This one is from 2024, so not that old, but not new either. So yeah, I'm Andy. That was Outside the Door. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, like, subscription, helps the channel grow. I would really appreciate it. And check out my Steam Curator page where I review games on and off the channel. So that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.